that really left an impression on me is a deer that I saw while hiking in a national park in Scotland. This happened about a year ago when I was exploring a forest trail early in the morning. As I was walking quietly, I suddenly noticed a deer standing a short distance away among the trees. It was calmly eating leaves and didn't seem scared at all for a few moments. We just stood there looking at each other. The sunlight was coming through the trees, and the whole scene felt very peaceful and almost unreal. What I found fascinating was how graceful and alert the deer looked. Every small movement it made was careful, and after a while, it slowly walked back into the forest without making any noise. I like this animal because it represents calmness and freedom. Seeing it in its natural habitat made me appreciate how important it is to protect wildlife and natural environments. That moment stayed in my memory because it was quiet, simple, and deeply connected to nature. Natural disaster that I learned about and that really left a strong impression on me was the 2011 earthquake and tsunami in Japan. I learned about it through news reports and documentaries at the time. And later I read more about it out of curiosity. The disaster happened in March 2011 when a powerful earthquake struck off the northeast coast of Japan. This triggered a massive tsunami that caused severe destruction along the coastline. Entire towns were flooded, buildings were destroyed, and thousands of people lost their homes and lives. One of the most shocking parts was the damage to the Fukushima nuclear power plant, which created long-term environmental and safety concerns. What affected me the most was seeing how suddenly everything changed for the people living there. Ordinary daily life was completely disrupted within minutes. At the same time, I was deeply moved by how calmly and respectfully people responded to the situation, helping each other despite the chaos. I felt shocked and saddened when I learned about this disaster, but also inspired by the resilience and unity of the Japanese people. It made me realize how powerful nature can be and how important disaster preparedness and community support are in times of crisis. The natural place I visited that I remember clearly is a mountain area in the Swiss Alps, near a small village called Grindelwald. I went there about 2 years ago during a summer holiday while traveling around Europe. The scenery was absolutely breathtaking. The mountains were tall and covered with snow at the top, while the low areas were green and full of wildflowers. I spent most of my time hiking along well-marked trails and stopping at viewpoints to take photos. The air was very fresh, and the weather was cool, which made the experience even more enjoyable. One activity I really enjoyed was taking a cable car up to a higher point on the mountain. From there, I had a panoramic view of the valleys, glaciers, and surrounding peaks. It was one of those moments where you just stop and admire how beautiful nature can be. I remember this place so clearly because it made me feel calm and inspired at the same time. It was a perfect escape from busy city life. And being surrounded by such a peaceful and powerful landscape helped me relax and appreciate the natural world more deeply. Truly close to nature was during a short trip to a quiet mountain area near my hometown. I went there early in the morning with a close friend, helping to escape the noise and stress of daily life. We walked along a small trail surrounded by tall trees and fresh greenery. There were no cars or buildings nearby, just the sound of birds and the wind moving through the leaves. At one point, we stopped walking and simply sat on a rock, enjoying the peaceful atmosphere and the cool, fresh air. What made the experience special was how disconnected I felt from technology. I didn't check my phone at all, and for the first time in a long while, my mind felt clear and relaxed. It felt as if time slowed down, and I could fully focus on the moment. I remember feeling calm, refreshed, and emotionally balanced. That experience reminded me how important nature is for mental health, and since then, I've tried to spend more time outdoors whenever I feel stressed or overwhelmed. What I do to protect the environment is reducing my use of plastic, especially single-use items like plastic bags and bottles. I always carry a reusable shopping bag and a refillable water bottle when I go out. I started doing this a few years ago after watching a documentary about ocean pollution. It really shocked me to see how much plastic ends up harming marine life. So I felt motivated to change my daily habits. I do this almost every day, especially when shopping or traveling. Although it seems like a small action, I believe it makes a real difference over time by using less plastic. I help reduce waste and lower the demand for new plastic production. Overall, this habit makes me feel more responsible and aware of my impact on the environment, and it has encouraged people around me to adopt similar eco-friendly habits as well.